Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here. So for this video, I wanted to share with you a little bit about this game called Torchlight 2 that I've been playing. This is a game that I saw for $5 on the Steam summer sale, and it's a game that I've sort of had my eye on for a while, so when I saw it on such of a big sale, I decided to pick it up. And it's a game that I've been playing a little bit on the stream with you guys, just to chill, just to hang out. Nothing I think that is going to take me away from, the bigger games that I play, but I have always been a huge fan of these sort of action RPG style games where you build up a character, talent them up the way you want to, and you get to slay hordes of monsters and have, them drop all kinds of random gear that with random properties that you can eventually piece together to make your own sort of creative build and have a chance at finding really, really rare items. That was always really exciting. So right now what I'm doing is I'm scrolling through the talents. You guys can read all the neat abilities that this guy has, just in case you're curious. Whenever I level up, I've generally been going 2 points into strength, 2 points into dexterity, and 1 point into vitality. Right now I think I'm probably gonna have to start putting 1 point in dex for 2 points in vitality just to make sure I get a little bit tankier. But the way this guy works, this is the Berserker, so it would make a lot of sense to you guys if you watch the kind of characters that I play. He is that in-your-face melee, really fast attack speed. Well, this guy is, at least. It looks like they're taking a little bit different of a take to like the melee guy. Normally the melee guy will be really, really tanky and get in there with like a big two-handed weapon. And I think this guy can use two-handed weapons, but more than anything, I think you're encouraged to build him pretty much like a Fury Warrior. A lot of what he does is crit damage. He heals himself off of crits. He gets faster attack speed off of killing enemies. But that is only really one of the talent trees, because the one I was showing you just before this one, that one is kind of like the Raging Berserker style. And then there's this one where you get a lot of almost like tanky stats. If there was like a tanking spec, I feel like this would be the point. This would be the spec that you'd want to put a lot of points into if you wanted to build your character tanky. Whereas the other one is kind of this one is like a summoner build. You do a lot of magic. There's like a lot of like really high mobility, just dashing through enemies, and you summon wolves and stuff. But my most sort of favored one, of course, is probably the first one. Just that Raging Berserker style. Get in there, AoE people down, get as many crits as possible, get as many like attack speed and movement speed buffs as possible from killing enemies. But as you can see, the way I've sort of set up my character initially isn't with a whole lot of active skills, because my mana pool is pretty low. I've gone with a lot of these passive abilities, and I'm showing them to you right now. Like I was showing you the one that sort of drains armor from my opponents, so I reduce their armor, and they give their armor to me. And then whenever I crit, it does some splash damage. And there's another one when I kill an enemy, I have a chance to get faster attack speed. And when I'm using two weapons of the same type, that's the Executioner one, I have a chance to execute the enemy, which gives me, of course, faster attack speed and increased rage generation. And can you see there, well, I'm calling it rage. Can you see that little bar at the bottom? That kind of has like the wolf head to the right of it, and whenever I attack enemies, it builds up. That's like what I don't know if it's called like a fury bar or a rage bar or whatever. But when that builds up, and you get to the maximum stacks, you start moving fast, attacking fast, and all of your abilities crit. And if you were paying attention, earlier on, I have an ability that whenever I crit somebody, it restores like 6% of my health. So once you go to Super Saiyan mode, you can pretty much just tear through anybody, and as long as you can get damage off, as long as you can crit, you'll be life-stealing lots of health back, especially if you're using that Eviscerate ability. That's that kind of cleave-looking ability. It does damage, and it also applies a bleed. So if you're going to be doing a lot of critical striking, you're going to be having a lot of lifesteal back. But yep, that's kind of the way I set my character up. You guys can feel free to go back and watch that a little bit more slowly. I know I wasn't really talking over it at the exact time that I was talking about, Torchlight and stuff. But this is a really fun game, and I like the genre in general. I've played a little bit of Path of Exile, played a little bit of Diablo 3, and I think this is I don't know, so far this is like the game that sort of feels the most like I want one of these kind of games to feel. I'm one of the kind of guys who I actually do like a cartoony vibe to the games that I play. The real realistic graphics, they're cool and they're pretty, but WoW has a bit of a cartoony vibe. League of Legends has a little bit of a cartoony vibe. I mean, and I just for some reason, whenever I play video games, that's what I've always enjoyed. Maybe it's because maybe it's because I was such a little Nintendo guy when I was growing up and I played video games. I always played Nintendo games, and I think Nintendo often favored the cartoony style, where a lot of the PlayStation and the Xbox and stuff, they always went with the more realistic graphics. I don't know, that's something I never really thought of. Maybe that's why. If you guys have a preference on the cartoony vibe versus realistic vibe, tell me what your preference is, and then just as like an interesting social study, I'm curious to know which system you guys started playing or played the most when you were little, because I was always a Nintendo guy. I played Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and then GameCube, a lot of GameCube. So one of these days I'm probably gonna have to go over like my favorite games of all time, because I think that you guys will probably recognize them as well. But anyway, about this game, I'm probably gonna die to this guy, but that's fine because I wanted to show you what it looked like when you actually die and you go back to town and stuff. But if you can see, I also got like a little pet that follows me around. You see this little kitty cat? This guy will not only deal damage for you, you can also feed him a bunch of different fish that'll transform him and give him new abilities. But the coolest thing that I think he does, besides, you know, dealing a bunch of damage for me, so that's where I die. I got exploded and I'm dead. So I'm gonna choose to resurrect in town. Not gonna lose any gold, not gonna lose any experience, be just fine. But anyway, about the pet. As you know, in these games, you run around, you kill monsters, you pick up a bunch of loot, and then your bags get all filled up. Then you have to go back to town to sell them. Well, in this game, you can just your pet has their own inventory, so you can just offload all of the items that you don't want or that you want to sell to your pet, and then you can send him to town, and he'll be gone for like, you know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, depending on like, I guess how far along in the game you are or whatever. But he'll be gone for a little while, but then when he comes back, he'll come back with all the gold that those items were worth. And that means that you can just keep on adventuring, or, you know, grab a sip of water or whatever. But, you know, all that sort of like tedious town selling and all that, you know, the pet handles it for you. And I think that's a really cool mechanic. It just keeps you in the game, keeps you in the fights, just battling on without having to worry about going back to town and stuff. And even if you want to chill, even if you like that chill time, you know, after you had your hard session of adventuring and you want to sell all your items, you can just sit there and, you know, have a little bit of water, chill, talk to the stream, and when the pet comes back, we'll get back to the action. But I think that is a really cool mechanic, and I like that a lot. But yeah, I died to that monster because I didn't have any potions left, because I'm playing this game in veteran difficulty, and I think there's like casual, normal, veteran, and elite. So I'm not playing it in elite because I actually want to have fun. Like, I don't want to just get one shot at all the time. The veteran is pretty difficult, and I think that I got to this far in the game on veteran difficulty because I was spamming potions so hard. So be sure to pick up all the items that you can, and because you're gonna need them for potions if you're playing on a harder difficulty. Because I'm level 19, but all these monsters are also level 19, which, you know, it doesn't make them too difficult, but still, I mean, you'll see this boss fight was insane. Spoiler alert, I'm going to be fighting a boss in this. I'm going to be fighting the Act 1 boss. So if you guys don't want to see the Act 1 boss, close your eyes, just listen to the commentary, I guess. But I'm going to be fighting the Act 1 boss here in a little bit. But yeah, the whole thing with the veteran difficulty, I don't know, I wish that it would increase the drop chance, or like increase the amount of gold you get, the amount of currency, but I don't actually know if it does or not. So that's kind of, I might just be making the game hard on myself for no reason. But anyway, so here's where I'm, you know, of course it'll be familiar to you. Whenever you level up, you get 5 stat points to allocate across your 4 sort of potential stats: your strength, which increases your weapon damage, your dexterity, which increases like your crit and your dodge, your focus, which increases your mana, and something else, who knows, that's caster stuff, I don't pay attention. And then of course your vitality, which increases your health bar and stuff. So, and the items, of course, you have to have certain stats in order to equip the items, or alternatively, if you don't have the stats, then I think that you have to be a certain level to equip them. But the way it looks is that like the level requirement for a weapon is gonna be like a couple levels down the road, but if you have the stats, then you can equip it earlier. Okay, so I think this is gonna be the boss fight. This is scary business. I go through so many potions, so be sure to pick up all the items you can. Be sure to send your little pet back to town, pick up as much currency as possible so you can spend them all on potions. But you don't have to play this game on as hard of a difficulty as I did. But I thought it'd be fun. Thought we'd go for a little bit of a challenge. And I don't know if it, like I said, I don't know if it affects the drop rates or anything, but I have already found like quite a few like unique items, and I think, spoiler alert again, I think this guy drops one for me. So if you are willing to watch through this entire epic ass boss fight, then you can. But yeah, I don't use a whole lot of skills, but that little dash thing, that helps you dodge damage. I mean, of course, it's like a good mobility skill, but it helps you dodge damage. And my basic sort of setup with this guy is, I want to have my lightning buff on my weapons. I want to have that little frost spell. I'll use that sometimes. I kind of think of that as like my Colossus Smash, because it helps me deal extra damage to the monsters. So like, when I want to burst this boss, I'll probably walk up to him. I should do my little ice thing to him, and then spam the heck out of my Eviscerate, and that's gonna deal a lot of damage. So he's taking a good chunk of damage, but like as you can see, also like his little mobs are stacking up. So I have to try to deal with some of those mobs. But then I think down through this fight, look at that. You see that little creature that pops up and shoots me with his Destructo Beam? That's pretty scary. You'll see him at the end of the video actually. But anyway, so he does like a couple different attacks. It looks like he shoots like tendrils out of the ground. For me, most of all, like I was just like, whenever he was like charging up a blast, I would just run. Like, oh god. But I was also trying to kill these little mobs too much, I think, and like during this fight. And I was like, oh crap, I gotta focus on the boss, because they don't stop spawning. They just spawn all day. They don't really do anything for me except just like sort of take my mana, take my health. So I was like, all right, I can't focus on these guys. I gotta kill this boss. But yeah, he does an attack where he slams the ground and shoots off like shockwaves, and then he summons tendrils out of the ground. That's the thing that does like little ion beam cannons out of the sky. And this is like a big slam, I think. Yeah, it sends off like shockwaves all over the place. But and then he of course is just summoning just droves and droves of these enemies. But I'm just gonna kite around. Like I said, I bought like 30 potions while I was in town, so I'm good to go. Like this difficulty is gonna deal a lot of damage to me. But part of the reason why I'm taking a lot of damage is because I am building my character as kind of a little bit of like a just Berserker stance Fury Warrior, man. Just give zero fucks. Just absolute damage city. And that's one of the reasons why I'm probably putting a few more points in vitality now that I'm continuing to level this guy. Just because I am taking so much damage from these guys. Like I'm dealing a lot of damage too, but like I said, the reason I'm staying alive is because I just spam health pods all the time. But I think I probably do want to be a little bit more naturally tanky. The crits are nice, like the lifesteal is good on a crit, but that's not like necessarily reliable. So hopefully sometime down the road I'll find some more lifesteal weapons so I can be have a little bit more sustain in these fights. But right now I'm just kiting for my life, applying Colossus Smash when I got it. Right now I'm entering crit city mode. You can see like 633 damage crits. That's what I'm talking about. So once you get that Colossus Smash up, that's when you can do the real big burst on this guy. But when you don't have that up, look at all these monsters. When you don't have your Colossus Smash up, you might just want to kite around because, not Colossus Smash. When you don't have your, I don't know why I'm calling it Colossus Smash anyway. When you don't have your little freeze spell, and when you don't have crit city up, which is like your enraged full rage bar thing. When you don't have that up, I don't know if it's like all that worth it. Just sit there and smack them for 3 damage at a time. But maybe over time you'll wear them down. But yeah, I do kind of build my character a little bit glass cannony, but that's fun. And that's one of the things that I like, is that it's a little bit different of a take from the normal, you know, like dungeon crawler games. I've always got these, you know, kind of like a tanky melee DPS, a wizard, and then like a ranger or something. But these classes, they do have the wizard, they do have the melee guy, but they're a little bit different. Like this melee guy is like a raging berserker, two-handed wielding crit city kind of guy, rather than like a sword and shield. But then again, that's just the way I'm building him. I'm pretty sure that the game would allow you to make like a sword and shield guy, especially if you spec heavily into like the tundra talent tree, and that's the second one that's got a lot of AOE. It's got damage return on it. I think it's got some armor buffs. And one of the things that I've actually used that talent tree a lot, because it's also got, you hear Samson, it's also got just straight up damage increase, like 10% physical damage increase. It also increases your cold damage, but I don't think at this point I don't think I'm doing very much cold damage. But I don't know. This is the character that I'm playing right now, the Berserker. But I might have to check out some of the other classes. I think playing a ranged class in this game would actually be a lot of fun, because the game does allow you a lot of room to kite around. And that's fun, because like it just makes it like rewarding gameplay. So for me, like I get in, I get my damage up with my bleeds, and then I kite away a little bit, pop a mana potion because my mana pool is so low, and I go so fast. Oh gosh, I'm stuck in a corner. Not. Look at that. Just wolf around. Oh yeah, that's right. If you hit 2 enemies or more with that little wolf dash ability, it gives you a little bit of a heal. So if you're in a tight spot, you can just wolf dash around. Just watch your mana pool. Make sure you don't take too much damage. But I think while you're like doing that little wolf dash, it avoids damage anyway. So If you're in a really tough spot, you can try to dash around, heal up, but I think that this boss is almost down. I've been also healing my pet. You can heal your pet with potions too. So I've got lots of potions to spare, so I've been pressing Z, which is my potion key, and Shift Z, which is heal my pet key. But I see that the boss is pretty low. I'm approaching Crit City. He's lost all of his minions at this point, so we're gonna try to get the setup here. I've got my weapon enchanted. Let's see if I frost him up. No, I don't even bother frosting him up. I just go ham with my eviscerates and get him dead. So that was a pretty epic boss fight. I don't know, that's a couple minutes long. That was badass. I'm doing some celebratory ability spamming. But look at that, you see, I got 2 big health potions, I got a blue staff, so if you guys played Diablo, it's kind of a similar thing, except the blue ones are more rare than the green ones. Like, it's gonna be familiar to you guys no matter what games you play. But I also got a mysterious wand, which actually turned out to be a really sick melee weapon for me. The only problem is that I have to find another wand to use in order to benefit from the executioner bonus. But regardless, definitely a fun little game to check out if you're looking for some action adventure dungeon crawler stuff. Torchlight 2 definitely is a pretty cool game that I think you'll enjoy quite a bit. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to let me know if you'd like to see any more Torchlight 2. Be happy to bring it out for you. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and peace!